Where the guys take a back seat and the ladies get to drive. Oh, there you go. That was your perfect intro.
Sure, sounded good to me.
There you go. Because now I know I like to drive. So, just saying.
Hey, there's only women drivers in my household.
There you go. There you go. There's other ways to drive too, just saying.
And there's still only women drivers in this house.
There you go.
I wouldn't mind a male driver in that case.
There you go, right? Yeah, once in a while it's nice to let the guy drive. Although if we're talking honestly and like literally about driving, like cars, I cannot. I have a problem letting go of control. Whenever Kevin's driving, it's like no matter what I say to myself, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to say anything. I'm like, and like he's doing something, I'm like, I'm not going to say anything. Oh my God, Kevin, what are you doing? I can't stop. Like I have to look down. I have to be reading a book or looking at my phone. Otherwise I lose my mind. And I know it's not fair, but like, holy cow, I can't. I just can't. Are you bad with other drivers?
I'm the same way. I'm the worst passenger in the world. My late husband, he never, like, very rarely drove. Like if I was injured, if I was sick or darn near dying, he could drive. Or drunk. He did that a couple times.
Well, if I was drunk, I think I'd be. That's another thing I could do. Instead of like reading or looking at my phone, I could just drink. Then I'll be okay.
Just let him get pulled over. You have an open container.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I'll have to put like.
You'd have to put in a thermos or something.
Right. I'll have to do like a little flask. Actually, a little flask is useless. I need a big flask. So there we go.
That's why I said water bottle.
Yep, that's perfect. Yeah. Yeah. Like seriously, like we bought. So full acknowledgement here. We bought a flask one time when we were doing something that we should not have had a flask at. I'm not going to be very specific because, my career.
Yeah, your career.
Yeah, it was sadly very tiny. Like we got a couple little sips. Like there was no buzz at all. I'm like, well, this is terrible. Like it's cute, but this is useless.
I found it was easier to use a slightly larger evening bag when you go to weddings or formal events that are cash bars.
Right.
And you really don't want to pay $20 for a drink.
Yeah.
So I found it was easier just to get a bunch of airport bottles, those little ones.
Yep.
It was so much easier just to buy a bunch of those, order a Coke,
your bag.
which was free, and dump the rum in.
That's brilliant.
I did that at more occasions than I care to admit.
That's brilliant.
Because I was a big drinker, and if I would have been paying $20 a drink, their wedding gift was going down.
I agree.
Honestly, I used to leave the gift card open.
Until you went there?
I would put 20s in it. So it would start out at like $200. And then it would go down.
Yeah. Hey, that's a great idea. Listen.
If I have to pay for my booze,
right.
I'm sorry. You should be paying that.
You see, you're
going. Your friends drink.
This is a party. And people are throwing the party. And when someone throws a party, you don't expect to go to that party and then wind up like, paying or like, you bring a present if it's a birthday or in this case, a wedding. But like, listen, if you can't afford to have a wedding that has, whatever, I mean, some people throw like crazy weddings. Right. Some people throw crazy weddings and like have all the bells and whistles and then the cash bar. Like, wait, what? No, I mean, like, why don't you tone it down? And also, you don't have to invite 200 fucking people. You know what I mean? Like, I would much rather have a smaller, more intimate wedding with everything I want than, have a huge wedding and like do something like that. And that's what Kevin and I did. We kind of eloped. I mean, eloped means like you just run off and get married, which we planned it. Like we were going to have a larger wedding, not a big one, but so then we just decided to get married at the Settlers Inn, and we invited, I think 12 people, including us. It was just family. And that was it. Just like immediate family, Kevin's parents and brother, My sister and her husband, and my niece and her boyfriend, two friends from New York that Kevin was like a roommate with the one guy for a long time, and Philip. Yeah, it was 10 people plus us. And it was perfect. We had like a real fancy dinner. We had whatever alcohol anybody wanted, and I mean we paid for it. You know, I mean, but it was $2,000, but it was everything we wanted, and it was not. And the $2,000, FYI, included the cake, the flowers, the music, and I think no, for like another, I think it was like another $500 or so like that. Then that was like everything, including gown and tuxedo, was less than $3,000. So that was the way to do it. And I remember it, and I had fun, and I have pictures, and it's really,
Everybody has to do what they feel is right, but you got to know your crowd.
Yes.
And I agree. I did go to one wedding where there was no alcohol, none, zero,
right,
dry wedding.
They suck.
But the bride and groom were both recovering addicts.
Oh, well, see, that makes sense then,
Well, you knew going in.
Right, that there wasn't going to be
alcohol.
any. Yeah, no.
So you respected it.
Right, absolutely.
And
that's
even
perfect.
Stayed totally sober for that whole wedding.
Wow.
Didn't sneak any booze in or anything.
Right.
But there were some of her family that were drinking, and they were getting wasted and started acting stupid. And the bride was like, couldn't even go over by their table because she's like, one smell of it, and I'm going to be triggered.
I don't understand the getting wasted at a wedding. Like, I mean, like, I don't want to get wasted.
Nicely buzzed.
Yeah, that's different. But like, if you're getting like so wasted where you're like staggering and like basically, going to be puking in the toilet, like, I don't get that. Like, I want to have fun, Unless unless you're there with like family members that you can't stand, and then and you just
been there, done that.
Yeah, keep drinking. Like, okay, give me another one.
Just keep them coming. Leave me alone.
Right.
Funny story. My wedding. Mm-hmm. The groom's brother got totally shit faced. That's the only way to put it. He came up to us after the whole night was over, and everyone left, and we were still there paying up the bill and everything and whatever. He comes up to us and hands us his wallet. He goes, "Here, you need to pay for the wedding? Here, pay for the wedding. Take my wallet. Take it, pay for the wedding." He goes, "Take it on the honeymoon too. Go ahead. Pay for whatever on the honeymoon with it." Now, he had credit cards that had like unlimited limits on it.
Wow.
And I was like, "No, Craig, it's already paid for. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's all good. Don't worry about it." And he's like, no, you pay with that. And he's shoving the wallet into Sean's hand.
Jeez.
And I'm laughing hysterical because he's like just really funny. And finally they get him out of the room and they take him down the hallway because it was at a hotel. Mm-hmm. Well, they had a hotel attached. And he's walking down the hallways and talking to the pictures on the wall.
Oh, jeez.
Of the other like bride and groom pictures.
Oh, God.
And he's like, "Oh, you look so beautiful."
Oh, my God. That's definitely very drunk.
So, yeah, he was really drunk, but it was like comical. Like he wasn't doing anything to hurt anybody.
Right.
Except we had to try and get him to not dance with his grandmother because he kept almost knocking her over. So... But otherwise, he was just like funny. It was like comical. I'm like, everyone still remembers him. Like, yeah, the guy that was talking to the pictures. I'm like, yeah, that's my father-in-law.
Oh my gosh.
Yep,
that's funny.
But yeah, that was fun. I slipped and fell at my wedding.
Oh, geez, what happened?
I heard the bar was an open bar until after the bride and groom got served. And I said, "Oh, no, this will not happen. Open bar from the start of," because the cocktail hour was in the same room as the reception. Mm-hmm. So there was no reason to shut down the bar.
Right.
They shut down the bar while they were introducing the bridal party and all that. Okay, fine. I understand that.
Right. All attention forward.
Right. So I was like, okay, that's fine. But they were not going to open the bar again until the food was served. And I was like, no, I need a drink now. So I got up from the table and I was like, oh, this ain't gonna happen. I go marching, steaming across the dance floor with my heels, and the one heel decides to find a slippery spot.
Oh shit.
And I landed very beautifully though. They took a picture. The dress was laid out real pretty.
Oh, it's like you're posing.
Yeah, it was like my legs tucked underneath me, and I'm just like, yep, I'm on the ground. Okay. There's one photo and one photo only, and it has been destroyed. There was no proof of me actually falling on my wedding day.
There you go. I mean, it would have been cool if you had a glass in your hand, then it would look like you were already drinking or something, but alas.
I actually didn't drink that much at that wedding.
Oh, no, I didn't either. My first wedding, oh my God, like it was so big and so many, like, like my mom would be like, you have to go to this table and say hi to these guests. And then my mother-in-law was like, you have to come to this table and say hi to these guests. I had half a glass of champagne when we were toasting. And that was it. I never got another drink. So when Kevin and I got married, I'm like, oh no, this is not happening again.
My first wedding, I was only 18.
Oh, so I guess you couldn't drink then. So there you go.
Oh yeah, I did. My mom told the bartender she can drink. She's getting married. She can drink.
That was back in the days when it wasn't quite as crazy about like watching that.
Well, it helped that we had 3 bouncers and 2 security guards there. So.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, we had fun.
Yeah,
we party hard.
That's awesome.
We party so hard, even at funerals, we have to have bouncers.
Oh, jeez. Wow.
Yeah, we had bouncers at my mom's funeral. It was great.
I want that. I want that for my funeral. I want bouncers at my funeral. I want people to drink and have fun and to remember good things. I don't want everyone to be there at a wake and be like sad and like, oh, it's such a shame. No, I've been very happy in my life right now. I'm if I had to go out tomorrow, whatever, like, I mean, it kind of suck. There's other things I want to do yet, but like, don't be sad. Like, come on, celebrate. It's a good life.
I'm actually kind of, I don't know where I am on death right now. I'm scared of it, but I embrace it.
Well,
but I think the scaredom is because of my daughter.
And what would happen? Yeah.
She wouldn't be able to handle it.
Right.
Not right now. No way.
Who would she go with? Like,
I already have parental units lined up for that.
Gotcha. Good.
It's in a will and everything. That's
gotcha.
Ironclad, signed, sealed, delivered, the whole 9 yards.
Right.
Because with losing my husband, it was a wake up call. It was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now
what?
And it leaves you as the only person. Yeah, that makes a big difference.
Yeah, so it's kind of like she would forget it. She would be lost. Mm-hmm. I don't even want to know what it would be like for her.
Right.
To be honest, right now, maybe when she's like 50 or 60. Mm-hmm. That means I got a long life yet to go.
There you go.
God help me. If life keeps going the way it's gone for these 50 years, I'm screwed.
And now you're a fighter. You've made it this far, and you're a fighter. I don't think you're screwed.
I would be screwed and not in the good bedroom way.
Yeah, right. That's not fun.
I could use some of that though. Anyway.
Well, have you been going the interwebs there, looking for love in all the wrong places?
No.
Gotcha.
I looked into those dating sites like Match and all those yada yadas, but they all cost money.
Right.
And this mama ain't got no money to date, so forget it.
Right. Yeah, no, I get it.
So I figure, I'll find Mr. Right when Mr. Right's ready.
Yeah.
And until then, thank God for Bob. Bob.
Is that your buddy?
That's your operated boyfriend.
There you go. I like that. Oh.
Yep, I got Bob.
I feel like I knew that, like not you personally, but I feel like I knew the abbreviation, but I was like, I knew what it was, what you were talking about, but I didn't realize what the acronym actually stood for.
Yeah, battery operated boyfriend.
I like that.
Let's see, now I got to come up with a new one because I have one that plugs in.
Oh, that must take some serious power.
Hey, MedEd likes me. My electric bill went up $20 a month. No.
There you go. Wow.
Maybe it's E-Bob? No.
E-Bob. Yeah, there you go.
E-Bob.
Right?
E-Bob. Electrically operated boyfriend.
I like that. Wow. Let me think. So, you don't want Pib, plug-in boyfriend, Pib. Hey, Pib. Oh, jeez. I like it.
A Star Wars character.
There we go. It's perfect. Nobody would ever know. He's a little droid, comes tootling along. I was like, okay, I'll take care of you.
See, that's it. And he plugs into charge. There you go.
Gee, now I'm thinking about that. I mean, like, considering like how advanced, Star Wars is technologically, they must have had something like that. I want to know the darker side of Star Wars now. And I don't mean the dark side of the Force.
I want the dark side.
Yeah, now I'm curious. I bet you someone somewhere has made some kind of toy with a Star Wars theme.
Well, if you think of Jabba the Hutt's bar, they had the girls
Oh yeah,
dancing and stuff. So that could have been probably their version of a strip club. I don't know.
Probably, yeah.
Their version of a gentleman's club. That's what they call them now.
Yeah, because it was mostly men. I mean, so
Yeah.
or male species, male of this whatever species it is. So we'll put it that way.
Well, now they don't call bars strip joints.
They called them gentlemen's clubs.
Yes.
Yes. Because gentlemen go to clubs like that.
See, there used to be a difference between gentlemen clubs and strip clubs.
Okay. What was it?
Clubs were your everyday
right
dancer on a pole.
Go-go dancer, yeah.
Guy comes in from work, dirty, disgusting, whatever.
Has a beer and
the everyday Joe.
Ogles, yeah.
Has the beer after work, watches the boobies bounce, goes home to the wife and kids.
So the gentleman's club used to be like more like the Playboy club, like like sexier, more James Bondish, supposedly.
It was a little more elegantly decor. The gentleman would have to like go in dressed like with a button-down shirt. You couldn't go in like dirty from work. Right. And the drinks and stuff were more, and of course the back rooms were more.
So that's like the after work for the corporate guys.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
That's like where you take the guy to close the deal,
Right.
Like, all right, we got a deal. Cool. Let's go to the gentleman's club. I'll show you some boobies.
Right.
And then the two guys are so horny, they go and do them each other in the back room.
Well, that's there you go.
You never know.
I always like pre-pandemic anyhow, when we were in the city, like, you'd see the taxis go by, and the taxis always have like ads, like little mini billboards on the roof. And I would often see one for a gentleman's club. I forget what it was called now, but it usually had some leopard print clad woman. And I'm like, oh, why is it always an animal print?
For animals.
Yeah, right. Jeez.
Let your animalistic side out.
Yeah, I think my spirit animal is probably a sloth, so I don't think that's a good idea. I napped today, like for 3 fucking hours. I was like, whoa.
That's like the everyday me is the sloth.
Gotcha.
Like, yeah, I can sort of get this done eventually. I'll get there. But when it comes to the bedroom, oh no, so far from a sloth. No. No. I'm like a panther.
True. Oh, I like that. Yeah.
I'm a panther. I lay low and I attack what I want.
I like that. I could just see you with like a tail twitching, like waiting to like pounce.
But see, the other thing about a panther is they lay down and they like to be cuddled and pet. See, that's why I like a panther, because they like both of that.
Gotcha.
They want to be in charge, but they also want to be, taken care of.
I've always liked cats and big cats, and like I've always thought they were so sleek and sexy and very lithe and like just very and their tails fascinate me. Like when they're like if you watch even a house cat and just watch their tails, like kind of how they move or they twitch, or there's a lot of body language in a cat. It's pretty interesting.
Oh, trust me, my cat, you can tell exactly what he's thinking by how his tail is moving.
Yeah.
Like, I know if the little tip is going, that means Kathleen, leave him alone. He's about to strike.
Right. Yep.
But no, it figures that I would be under a cat or want to be a cat because I'm a Leo.
Oh, well, yeah, that makes total sense. Yeah.
Just dawned on me. I'm a lioness.
There you go. Well, it makes sense that I like being near water so much because I'm Aquarius, the water bearer. So there we go.
Well, there you go.
I don't know what is going on with me right now, but my eyes are absolutely like itchy, and all day they've been like weepy. And now all of a sudden, like they're like, I want to rip them out of my head. I don't know what's going on.
Away from Carrie. She's got COVID.
Apparently, yeah. Is it manifest as itchy, red, watery eyes? Yep, I got it. Jeez. I don't think, did I have something on my hands? I mean,
Did you need a new lotion, new shampoo?
No, no,
Did your
no.
eyes?
Well, I think that in the past where what I thought it was allergies, although like right now with the itchiness, that's definitely, but like the weepy eyes that I have sometimes, I think I've come to realize that it might be dry eye. I know that it's counterintuitive that you would say that, well, if your eyes are watering, they can't be that dry, but it's them trying to make enough tears. So I did buy eye drops for that. And I've noticed that when I put them in, I don't have problems that day. But now I don't know what the heck's going on. Now I scratched my eye. I must have had something on my hands when I was cooking or something. And now I'm just like, oh. It's a good thing we're not on video right now. That's all I'm going to say. I'm just like, my eyes are tearing. Probably makeup's running down my face. I'm the whole package right now.
Okay, at least you have makeup on.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. I can't. If I was like by myself, I'd definitely not be wearing makeup, unless I went out. But like, I don't know. I once or twice I'll try like not wearing any makeup and, around Kevin, and he doesn't care, but I do. And I'm just like, no, 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 no. Like, and I go back into the bathroom like an hour later. I'm like, nope, gotta put it on.
I used to be like that. Like I could not leave my house without at least foundation and eyeliner and mascara.
Right, right.
Like that was like if I didn't have that, I felt naked.
Right.
But since COVID, I've kind of just been like, screw it. The makeup comes off in the mask.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I know.
I'm not gonna waste my makeup.
I've been researching, because even though I'm vaccinated, when I go back to school, I'm gonna have to wear a mask, and that's my number two complaint. Number one is it's very hard to breathe in the masks, but I've managed to make my masks. Like if I set them, like if you get the kind that have like the elastic to go over your ears, and they have like the little and they're almost like a little bead on each side that you can like make it shorter or longer. If I take those completely off, and then like basically the mask would be hanging, but if it's got the wire thing for your nose, I can pinch that so it stays on my nose, and then it holds up, and then it's like super loose, and I can talk and all that. And I'm just not doing what it's supposed to do by any stretch of the imagination, because there's all this gap. But I'm like, listen, if it's all just about looks, fine, I got you nailed there. But it's still the makeup thing. And, people laugh. It's like, no, this is a real thing. So I thought, you know what? I know I'm not the only one. So like I did some like Googling or actually ducking, DuckDuckGo. And I did find people so the best way the one person like tried like, I don't know, like 6 different things. And the best thing to do was to combine your foundation with like setting spray. And so, I'm like, all right, so I got to I started practicing that a little bit. I didn't notice a real difference, but then again, I'm not wearing a mask around here unless I'm going into the post office, which I did today, but I didn't, my mask is already stained from makeup. Like, and that doesn't come out. Like I've washed them. I'm not stupid, but it doesn't come out. Yeah.
That's how we always knew. Me and Kathleen had a mask that was very similar. Mm-hmm. And I went to grab it one time thinking it was mine, and I'm like, that is not my shade of lipstick. And I know they've been washed. I wash them regularly.
Yeah.
But lipstick and makeup does not come out.
And I also hate when I put it on it rubs off on my nose. Yep. So like if I take the mask off, like I'm going to have I'm going to look stupid. Like my nose is going to be like naked and everything else is going to be mostly okay. And I'm like, this looks retarded. So I'm annoyed all around about that. I'm sorry. I'm being very petty. I mean, like everybody else and all these people, like the people who say, you have to wear a mask or whatever. I mean, that's my problem. Like that legitimately is my number. Like I said, it was number 2. It's probably number 1. I really hate it because of the makeup. I'm going to be petty, petty, petty.
See, I've never heard of mixing the setting spray with the foundation.
Yeah, so
I always put the setting spray on after.
Right, so do I. But what I was doing was I was like, I don't know if you use a brush or not. I use for a long time I only used my fingers, but I actually got a brush. And so I spray the brush with the setting spray and then put the foundation on, or vice versa. I've tried both. And then I immediately put it on my face. And I do that each time that I'm putting on whatever, because I do different sides. Obviously, you do your whole face, and then once it's done, I let it dry a little bit. Then I spray it, and then I do my makeup, my eyeshadow and all that, and then I spray it again. So I'm kind of like ODing on it. So I'll be able to.
People.
What's that?
You're a triple sprayer.
I only because of the mask. I wouldn't normally be like that. But I'm trying. So we'll see. I will have a full report the second week of September for everybody. Well, actually, it'll be the third week when I think it's the third. I don't know. I'm so confused. It'll be the 13th when I'll be able to report back on how I did. That's Monday. I only know that because that's when the kids come back. So, and I go back the Thursday and Friday before. So,
your school starts that late?
Yeah, we always start after Labor Day, and then this year we start even later because New York City does all the Jewish holidays too. Well, not all, but like a lot of them. And there's 2 Jewish holidays like right away in like September, or usually it's in September. Maybe sometimes it bleeds into like the very early part of October. It's Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. I don't know which one comes first, but whichever one comes first is actually the Wednesday after Labor Day, which is why the teachers aren't coming back until that Thursday. And then the following week, the kids come back on Monday, and we have another Jewish holiday on Wednesday or Thursday. So it's just like, I think it's on Thursday. So it's literally, I almost said oi, and I'm like, oh, but that's actually literal. So there we go. It's like, it's rough. It's like you have a 4-day week. So we won't have a full week of school until friggin' September 20th. It's like, jeez. But then, and by then we should have everybody like all freaking out and like, there's going to be all kinds of crazy stuff and, people getting, diagnosed with the disease and having to quarantine. And like, I'm foreseeing that this school year is going to be a shit show. I can't speak for other schools, but like in New York City, it's going to be a mess because there are no, like the mayor didn't plan things accordingly. He's kind of like throwing the dice up and letting them go wherever they go. That's not.
But I thought New York was on like complete shutdown. Can't come in or out without your vaccine paper.
You can't go into starting. I think today, or is it tomorrow? You can't go into bars, restaurants, gyms, or entertainment venues without proof of a vaccine. And, and I know we're not normally political, but like this just pisses me off. And I'm like, you know what? And I've seen people saying, good, because, we don't want the people who don't have the vaccine are spreading it. I'm like, dumbasses, the people with the vaccine can spread it too. So that's a stupid argument right there. And secondly, the business, I saw someone argue this point, like the businesses that they're the ones that have to police this. So can you imagine having to check people at the door and make sure they're vaccinated, and how people get and how angry they get. And so there's going to be a lot of problems. It's going to be worse than the mask situation. And
people don't like waiting online at a Broadway show.
But I mean,
it's their ticket.
Well, they can't even hardly.
Now you have to show your vaccine.
They can't even hardly get the Broadway open. I mean, like it's still like there's a few shows that are running, but like not really at the right speed. I mean, at all. Like Phantom, the opera, like the Broadway show. It's been around since like 1980, I think. 8, I think. That's not even opening until October. And so like the thing is that I get that, you're trying to be proactive or whatever, but you're really not. You're just pissing a lot of people off. You're going to cause a lot of issues. And the bottom line is I think, especially with like the restaurants and like the bars, like you're going to be able to slip the guy at the front. Has to check your, vaccine status, like a $10 bill or something like that. And he'll take it and say, come on in. Or, they're just going to like, not really argue because you're putting them in a very difficult position, more difficult than with the mask situation because, but then they can get fined. Businesses can be fined like $1,000 an incident. So, there's always people out there who are going to be like, oh, well, I know somebody who got into this place. And, I'm just like, that's not the way to go about it. It really isn't.
No, it's not. But Kathleen goes back to school on the 30th. Mm-hmm. And then that's on a Monday. Mm-hmm. And they're closed that Friday and Monday for Labor Day. And then she goes back in full Tuesday. And she's got a full week. So the week you start is a full week for her.
Yeah. Is the school... I'm sorry. I'm reaching in for another beer because I'm annoyed. I already told Jerry why I'm annoyed. Because my Instant Pot's being stupid.
Get me a beer.
Yeah, I'm actually drinking a Slightly Mighty Low-Cal IPA from Dogfish Head, and I'm very impressed because I don't know if my tastes are changing as I get older, but there we go. But I never liked IPAs. I always felt like they kind of tasted like I just didn't like them. But I've learned that not all IPAs are the same. So the ones that are a little bit more grapefruity, I don't mind. And this one's only 3 points on Weight Watchers. And I feel like I'm drinking a real beer instead of this watered down, like, Corona Ultra Premier thing or whatever. So I'll take it. But so your daughter's school district, are they fairly, do you think, have they communicated with the parents, basically, is I guess what I'm asking, about like their plans, like that they have anything like in place as far as like,
Oh yeah.
if something happens, this would trigger a shutdown for a class, or like, are they doing it that way? Because that's what New York is supposed to do.
Well, they're opening up full.
Right.
5 days,
Yep. Same
full
here.
days, 3 foot distance between.
Is that mandated? Because the CDC said where possible. And I will be very honest with you, there's a lot of New York City schools where that is not possible. Mine's
Well,
one, so that's not going to
with
happen.
with your schooling in New York, I see that's not going to be able to happen.
Right.
Here, I mean, they don't have as many kids as you have out there,
Right.
obviously, and it's a relatively newer school,
Right.
so they do have plenty of room to do that.
Gotcha.
Um, so they basically said, you have to wear your mask on the school bus,
Right.
optional in the classroom and in the school. Um, they would like them to wear them in the hallways, but again, optional.
Interesting. Very
Um,
interesting.
so I've already told my daughter it's optional. Do what you want.
Right.
You know,
I
they
mean, she's a
haven't
teenager. She
said,
can make up her own mind.
yeah, they haven't said yet, like, if we get X amount of number of cases, we're closing or
Gotcha.
quarantining. They
Okay.
haven't said that yet, but I think that's going to come once the school opens
Right.
and they see how many cases it could be.
Right.
Because, I mean, now you're putting all the kids in the
Yeah.
school,
Yeah.
and we were shutting down if there was like one person who had COVID.
Right.
What are they going to do now?
Yeah, well, they upped it with New York. So it's interesting because, and this is the part that gets me, because you can't, like back like last year, like this at this point last year, New York City decided to go, they opened really late last year. They were starting remote, and then like they brought kids in, and and then like it was even before Thanksgiving, and we went fully remote again until like I don't know, it was like February, I think. But like the number that triggered, they said if the infection rate hit like 3%, that would trigger the closing of the schools. Well, it's at 6% right now. So what changed? And then they're like, oh, well, we know how to handle it now. I'm like, yes, but now you are talking about the Delta variant, which is far more contagious and is actually affecting children more now. So I'm like, all right. But I mean, I love playing like devil's advocates. Like you say this, but you're doing this. Like that, can you make up your mind? But they did say that they had raised it, like it was like if you have like a case in a classroom, if you had 2 unrelated cases in a classroom, they were shutting the classroom down, I think, and making the class quarantine. But I think they've raised that now to, I don't know, 3 or 4. I don't know what the numbers are, to be honest with you. I don't really care. But I think that there's going to be a bit of an upward. Does your daughter's school have a remote option? Like, do they have like an online academy or something that she could do should she want to do that instead of be in person?
They do have that.
Gotcha.
But it's not like,
it's not actual lessons. It's going to be more like probably like
it's going to be more like that crap they had at the end of the year.
Yeah.
With the COVID.
Right.
There's no way. My daughter was like, I'm going, Mom. I don't care what you say.
Right. So, yeah. So in New York, they're not even entertaining a remote option. So they went from like, and I know everyone calls like New York City like ultra liberal and the mayor and all that. They went from, fully remote to no remote option at all whatsoever. And you have to have like a special health, like super special health consideration for like what they call, like in Pennsylvania, they call it homebound. Like, when like a tutor comes to your house and helps you. And there's only like 1,200 students like citywide, like 5 boroughs that like can actually qualify for that. And it's just like, again, you're being completely contrary to what you were at this time last year. Now you're like, nope, no remote option. Everyone has to be in school. I'm like, okay, so now everyone's going to be super crowded again. And, I mean, they are mandating masks, but I'm going to tell you right now, I mean, and people are like, oh no, the kids are wearing the masks. I'm like, no, I guarantee you at my school, it's going to be a daily fight. And I'm not going to get in that fight. I'm not going to involve myself in that. If a kid is doing something like has the mask down below his nose, I'm not going to argue. Like, that's not my job. I am not the mask police. There's other things that I need to be doing. And I mean, and then they're throwing this other shit on everybody too. They're talking about like, the teachers have to give some sort of, math and an English assessment to see how far behind the students have fallen. And they're going to take time to do that. And then there's all this social emotional learning so that we can, oh, I know you've had such a hard year last year and I know you're feeling you know what? I'm sorry. Like, the parents need to stop enabling their children. Like, if this had happened when we were younger, my mom would be like, suck it up. You're not the only one that's going through this. The entire fucking world, well, she wouldn't say fucking. The entire world is going through this. So pull up your big girl panties, suck it up, and deal with it. And I think that way too many parents are like coddling their children, like, oh, it's okay to feel so sad and upset. Like, stop it. Just like, okay, so this sucks. You're right. But you know what? You have plenty more, time in advance to be handling school. So calm down. Like, I don't know why we have to, like, now we're playing even more of a counselor now. I'm like, when are we supposed to teach our, like, actual material? All right, whatever. And you know what? And now I'm going to be one of those teachers. I'm counting down 8 more years. As soon as this year starts, it'll be 7 more years. That's all I'm going to keep saying.
My one friend teaches in Jersey, and she's doing the same thing. She's on the retirement countdown.
Yep.
She's like, I technically could retire. I'm tenured. I got my time in. She's like, I could retire now.
Oh my God, why is she staying? God, I hate her. I want to be her.
Well, she'll be 60 in December.
Oh, geez, she should definitely, like, retire. Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, but see, she looks at it like she wants to retire because she's sick of the school crap.
Yeah.
Rules and regulations.
But she likes the kids.
Stuff. She loves the kids.
Yep.
And she does special ed, so it's like even.
Yeah. Well, I mean, special ed's like you're much more one-on-one, and it's a more personalized thing, but it's also, and I'm sure Jersey is similar to New York, the paperwork is insane.
It's not even that. From the stories she tells me, I would not want to be in her shoes because she gets like the kids that need that extra attention because they're either like hyper
or emotionally disturbed or
yeah, they all have all those initials in their problems, and it drives her crazy. But yet she has some students that are good,
right?
But she's like, yep, 2 more years.
She's a better woman than I.
She was thinking of doing it this year, but she's like, I couldn't stay home. She goes, I would go crazy being home. And what can I do as work? I'm 60 years old. Who's going to hire me? I don't want to work as a greeter at Walmart.
Right. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people who would hire her right now. I mean, she wanted to work in the restaurant business anyhow. They're crying for help. Yeah. Wow.
Well, she's looking at different things. Like, she's a phenomenal artist. I mean, she can draw pretty much anything.
Yeah. Take her time and pursue that and do something with that.
So she's thinking of like getting into like screen printing and stuff.
Oh, cool.
Like at least doing the artwork for it.
Right.
So like say VOP needed it.
Right.
She could draw something, which I should have her do something.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm going to have her do something for me. Because VOP needs options.
And you're saying you don't care for the merchandise that's already available?
I haven't even looked at the merch.
They're
sorry.
Sneakers. $200 and some dollar sneakers.
Yeah, okay. Let Elias buy those.
He made them.
He could buy them.
Designed them. Yeah. And leggings. I'm like, okay, maybe the skinny girls want the leggings. These thighs don't belong in leggings, so.
I saw something on the back of a car today, and I looked at Kathleen and I said, "This is something VOP should do." And it had hashtag something podcast. And then underneath it said what the podcast was, like in smaller print. And I said, VOP needs to do something like that.
Right.
Put it on the cars to advertise it, because a lot of people go, what's a Vapusa?
Yeah, exactly.
But underneath put voice of the people, where, open mind, open thought, whatever the
right.
I can't think right now.
That's cool. I like that.
But I was like, that would be so cool to put on cars. So my friend's going on vacation the next 2 weeks, but when she comes back, I'm going to go over her house and we're going to sit with the Cricut and I'm going to make one as a sample.
There you go.
Put it on my car.
And if you do something cool like that, like you can do that, you can even do like I have, if she's, if it goes through, whatever, she lets me take the design. I can actually print that on like stickers that like you can add, because I know that the boss wants stickers. I'm like, okay, like, I mean, that could be a nice little something if somebody subscribes, right? And like,
Yeah.
you could do like or even, and you can put those stickers, you can put those on like magnets or something, and throw a magnet up on the, whatever. Like the little things, people like the little shit. You know what I mean? Like,
That's why I thought like the window decal, like they have the
yeah,
speak with your
yeah,
families and stuff,
yeah.
You can have one of Biden's head cut off, you know.
Well, I
But
think that's going to happen any day soon now because of what happened with the whole. I'm not going to get political because I don't understand it, but the whole Afghanistan thing. Like, even the
oh
people
yeah,
on CNN are turning against him. Like, oh, he's fucked.
yeah. Like this wasn't too programmed, but we won't get into that.
Yeah.
But like I was saying though, the VOP stickers for the car, I think that would be like awesome
Mm-hmm.
because you got to advertise it.
Yeah.
And if I see something like that on the back of a car, it's going to catch my attention.
Yeah. Sure.
And
Be
I
like, oh,
might
what's
say,
that?
hey,
Yeah.
where freedom of speech, whatever, or whatever he wants to say on it. Although I do kind of like the open mind, open speech.
Ah.
I like
Yeah, I
that.
like that a lot. Yeah, I do too.
I kind of like that. So, but it's just one of those things where it's like bring in some ideas. My
Yeah.
brain is working again.
There you go.
See, people I could have decent thoughts,
Yep. Yep.
not all perverted. Although the perverted is a lot more fun.
Yeah, I do too. I agree. I like it.
Because now, you're going from your female moment to your natural moment later. So
That's true. Yeah, we for anybody who listens to both shows, we've actually changed our. Kevin and I have changed our "We Drink and Know Things" to Monday nights after this show at 9:30. We give it a little space so I can run to the bathroom and all that. But yeah, I mean, and the reason why is because with when school starts and then we're going back into the city, we travel on Friday nights to come back to Pennsylvania, and then we come back to the city on Sundays, and so it's a lot to happen on a Sunday to like try to like handle that. And so, and it's perfect because on Monday then it's just like 2 shows and boom boom and we're done, and then it's just waiting to see if the boss can actually handle the show that we do. So,
well, don't forget this week you're on Tuesday.
is it Tuesday? I wasn't sure. He never left it. He was like, it's either going to be Tuesday or Thursday. I'm like, I don't care, whichever's fine. And then I got the Haps invite, but it didn't say what day. I'm like, all right. I'm glad you told me it's Tuesday.
He was saying Sunday that you would be Tuesday at 7, and he's bumping the round table till 9:30.
Oh.
So that he can do the Carrie and Dan from 7 to 9.
Gotcha. Maybe that's why there's some
But
angst.
somebody listens to these stupid shows.
That's true. That's true. I know I'm bad. I mean, I listen, but I've never been a podcast person ever. I mean, I don't like to listen to that.
At you. You have 3 of them.
I know. It's weird, right? Like, I just like, well, Kevin and I, what we started was not as a podcast really. Like, we would just like record ourselves having a discussion and then like post it. Now we do it live, and I think once we get back to New York and get things settled, we're probably gonna start doing video. Anyhow, so
you can't do video. I can't comment and make fun of you guys.
I know. Well, then you can do that. There you go. Like, what did you do to your hair? I can see that now. So, but yeah, I mean, it's just, I just never. I don't know. Like, all right, before VOP, did you listen to podcasts? Am I the weird one here? Probably.
I've been listening to Dan whenever.
No. I'm not counting his show. Like, I have listened to his show before too. I'm talking about actual podcasts, like other than VOP. Have you ever listened to podcasts?
Me personally, no.
See, there we go. See, it's not just me.
My husband did.
Yeah.
He listened to a lot of different ones, but I couldn't be bothered.
Yeah, I can't. It's not, no. I'm just not in it. Just, I'm sorry. I don't, not to insult anybody, but I know the 1 or 2 times I would listen, well, more than 1 or 2 times, like I tried to like, be good and listen to other people's.
Politishock.
What's that?
You can't handle Politishock. It gets too political, and boy, that would just, oof.
I've done Politishock with him a couple times. It depends on the topic.
Yeah.
I don't think it's fair when you're doing stuff like that, like, because some people, and I'm sure you can figure out who I'm talking about. Some people will jump on any bandwagon that's there, and won't think for themselves and will just be like, yeah. And it just, it's, you're an idiot. You don't know what you're talking about. You haven't done any research.
On another show.
Yeah. And I'm just like, and complete opposite. Yes. And so that's the shit that really pisses me off. And that's why I don't want to go on, because I know that I'm going to get attacked by somebody like that, and I'm going to fucking lose my mind, and I'm going to go after them. And I don't want it to become about that, and I don't want it to degrade to something like that. That's legitimately, honestly, why I don't do the PolitiShock. I can talk politics. Like I get, Dan and I do that. But as far as the PolitiShock part, yeah, I can't stand fucking idiots. And I
agree with you. There's no way I could do a Thursday show. God bless them for doing it.
Yeah.
And I'll listen and I'll comment.
Yeah.
But I don't join in. Obviously, I'm not invited either, but that's besides the point. But I know 9 times out of 10, I would get into an argument with people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I know just listening, my fingers want to attack that keyboard.
Yeah.
And just like rip this person apart, or that person apart, or that topic apart, or this topic apart.
Yeah.
And like there was a comment made, oh, we should have more shows where there's more diversity, where people have 2 different points of view. And right away I'm thinking, I know exactly who I can go against on that.
Right.
But that would become a bloodbath.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I would probably royally piss somebody off. And I'm pretty good at doing that.
Yeah, me too.
And we all know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So.
Yeah. Well, I was told today that since I'm the oldest person in the group, I should be more mature. I was like... So I just left exactly who you think. And because I called this person out, they sent a post. It was nothing but a video of somebody looking up something online on their iPhone, and it said like COVID-19, some kind of a patent back in 2015. And I'm like, So I followed the links and I looked it up. And then I did a little extra research, and it's like, yeah, they did this. They had this patent for this like COVID-19. I don't even know what it was. Some sort of like tracking something or other, like some sort of electromagnetic. It was some way of seeing if you have COVID-19 without sticking something up into your brain. And the thing is that the way patents work in the medical world, like they put this patent in originally in 2015 for something else, something similar, but not the same thing. And then just this past year in 2020, late 2020, they realized that they could use this thing to look for COVID-19 as well. So they changed. So they went back and added that. But what happens is the patent year will show the year that it was initiated. So if they do an update to it, it still keeps 2015. So it wasn't like it was trying to be this whole big conspiracy thing. It was like, look, they knew about this back in 2015. And I'm like, no. And so I know, and I highlighted the information that explained how patents work. And I got this to each his own. And I'm like, what? I'm like, so you are not going to do research and like, check other things? And that's like, apparently, that's what it sounded like to me, like that person was, decided that, that's what, they believed. And and then they were like, I didn't say that. And as the older person in this group, you should be more mature about this. I'm like, what? I just started putting laughing, crying emojis because it's like, you're making no sense. And then they kept saying, to each his own, to each his own. And I just kept laughing. And then it finally, I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, you're so stupid. I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to tell you, make sure you check your sources. Like, don't just believe stupid shit that's thrown up online by some crazy asshole living in his mama's basement. You know what I mean? But no, then I get like attacked. I'm like, all right, oh, fuck you. And I'm done. And actually the boss was laughing hysterically. He texted me while I'm texting this person because it was in a group chat. And he's like, to each his own? And I'm like, I'm going to fuck this person up. I'm just like, really? Come on. Like, cut me a fucking break. Like, and the problem is too many people try to appear intelligent. They want to show that they know something and they show proof. And I'm like, if you are showing proof from some random idiot's video or some like QAnon blog, something or other, like especially like the one where they talk about like the people sucking out adrenaline from scared children's eyeballs and inject. I'm like, okay, okay, all right, just calm down. The okay boomer, I'm like, okay, QAnon, calm down. I'm not saying all of those theories are completely wrong, and I definitely believe in some conspiracy theories, especially when it comes to 9/11. But can you do some fact checking first? Can you take a deep breath and just kind of look at it? Don't go off half cocked. If you're going to post something, and there was no context, just posted the video. Like, what are people, and nobody else commented. I'm like, right there, that tells you. Nobody made a comment. It tells you that everyone else is like, okay, you're a dumbass. But, God forbid, because then they get insulted and it's like, oh, I'm not stupid. I'm like, yeah, you are. And you should be better than this by now. You're almost 30. Just saying. Oh, I did a rant. Oh, that's unusual for this show. Look at that. Ladies' night goes semi-political. Actually, no, it just goes against stupidity. Ladies against stupidity.
Ladies against stupidities. I'm 100% behind.
Let's add another way. Ladies against serious stupidity, because then it's lass. See, it makes sense. Woo, I like that. Ladies against serious stupidity. We should make a bumper sticker for that.
There we go. I say we do it.
I love it. I'm gonna work on that. I'm gonna make a design for that. Ladies against serious stupidity. Lass.
Sponsored by VOP.
Yeah, there we go. Guess we'll tell the boss later.
He won't know.
Yeah, no, exactly. So
we don't put it in the merch store. Heck, we can put it in the merch store.
Oh yeah, he'd be like, okay, whatever. Oh Lord.
I don't know. It's just crazy times that people just need to realize that. Okay, I get it. You think you know things.
Yeah.
Fantastic. But do you really?
Yeah, and you don't know everything, right?
You need to have that counterbalance of it. If you're going to preach on something being blue, you better make sure that is blue, not indigo, navy, or periwinkle.
I read somewhere once, someone gave advice that said, if you, and I think this was something to do with like financial advice, but I think it works for everything. So the financial advice was, if you are interested in buying a stock from this company and you've read all this like positive stuff, what you need to do is you need to search for the negative. And so that way you can look at both sides. I think that's true with anything. If you see something that you believe, say you believe that Kamala Harris is Satan reincarnated. Okay. So you find all this proof that says she is. Then look for proof that says she isn't. You know what I mean? Like you need to do, but I don't know why I picked that decision because I don't really care for her. That's probably why. And I didn't mean to insult Satan. Hail Satan. Anyhow. But you know what I'm saying? Like you actually need to make yourself look for the opposite, the negative to your positive, so that you can be better informed. And it doesn't take that long. And you can look at the websites. And I taught this, and I still teach this in school, about looking at the validity of websites. Like you don't take someone's personal blog. You don't, you know what I mean? Like you want to look for, and even like, and I blame the media now though, because like you've got like news, like, like newspapers, and the 24-hour news is what fucked everything up in this country. I'm convinced. And Kevin said that, and I agree with him. It's because so much,
Yay, Kevin.
Yeah, there's so much opinion. So like, like on Fox News or on CNN, it doesn't matter which, they have these shows, right? And it's not just the news. They're like, Tucker Carlson's show or what the Fareed Zakaria's show or whatever. I'm trying to like give people on each network here. That's their opinion. It's like us, right? Like we talk about stuff, it's our opinions. But if somebody was to listen to our show and hear it, they'd be like, "Oh my God, really?" So like anything that can, any plug-in vibrators should be like, you know what I mean? It's like you're listening to us and you're believing what we're saying. We're just an opinion. You need to find out the facts, right? Like, and then that's where all of America has fucked up. They are completely fucked up because nobody bothers to look and make sure that what they read, especially on the fucking internet, is fact and not opinion. Like that's the bottom line. Like, I mean, it's not that hard. Just use some fucking common sense. And as soon as I said that, I know I hear Kevin like in my mind saying there's no such thing as common sense anymore. And it's true. Yeah.
There is not. And it's hard because like if you want to stand for some, great. Mm-hmm. All the power to you. But learn the pros and the cons of what you're standing behind.
Yeah.
That way, when you get into an argument and someone throws the cons at you, you should be prepared with the pros to fight those cons.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like, because if you just go in with all positive, 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 and don't know the negatives to something, then you're no better than the person that only goes negative and never listens to the positive.
Yep. Yep. I agree.
It's a give and take. If you don't know
Mm-hmm.
both sides,
Yep.
or at least are open to listening to the other side, then you're no better.
Yeah.
Then you're
Yep.
just preaching stuff that's fictitious,
Yeah.
basically.
And that's the real problem right now. I mean, and I discovered that, with, doing the show with Dan, and like, he would have a different opinion. I would have a different opinion. We'd talk about them, and it's like, wow, well, some things that he said really made sense, and and it interests me, and like, and it's a good conversation. But the problem is like, and I said this before, one of my friends, someone that I know, that I teach with, and this was like last year, and we were talking, and this is before the election, and anybody who's a Trump supporter is a piece of shit, and I'm just like, really? And so she said, when I told her that, I do this like, podcast kind of thing with Dan, and like, I talked to him, and I said he was a former student of mine in Pennsylvania, and she's like, how can you do that with him? How can you do a show with him? How can you be friends with him? And I very calmly fucked her up verbally. I'm like, I said, that's the thing that's wrong. Like what you just said, that's why we have so many problems right now, because you are a liberal and he is a conservative. And so you've decided that anybody who's a conservative is a piece of shit and you're not going to listen to them. And that's the wrong thing to do. You need to have a conversation. You need to talk to people. You need to understand their viewpoints. And then you help them understand your viewpoints. And somewhere in between, you can find some common ground and you can be friendly. And she just kind of sat back and she was just like, she was taken aback. I could tell. She was like, I'm like, really? How can you not be thinking about this? And this is exactly what happens now in America. It's like, it's like, just stop being so polar divided. Like, just like talk to each other and not scream at each other. And it's true on both sides,
I think the problem is people are too single-minded.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're absolutely right.
They're set in their way, and their way is right, and I'm not bending.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas it used to be, okay, I'm set in my way. I know what I want, but maybe you can convince me to bend a little bit to understand,
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
It's
I mean,
like, okay, you say you like vanilla, I like chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
And we go out one day and it's like, I only want chocolate. Don't let your vanilla touch my chocolate.
This is like peanut butter and chocolate. The Reese's peanut butter cups.
You got your chocolate in my peanut butter. Now you got your peanut butter in my chocolate.
We're showing our age right now, just so you know.
I know. Those are good commercials. But we could just say we saw them on YouTube.
That's true.
Yeah, we saw it on YouTube.
Yeah.
But that's the problem, though, is that people don't want to mix their peanut butter and chocolate.
Yeah.
I'm only chocolate. I'm only peanut butter. And you cannot convince me that this peanut butter is going to be better taking just a little bit of your chocolate. Yep. And your chocolate, no. Your peanut butter is not going to help my chocolate.
Yeah.
No way. And now I want a peanut butter cup. Dang it.
I'm safe. I'm not a big fan of peanut butter. It's okay, but like the peanut butter cups are way too sweet. Well, here we go. You want your peanut butter cups? I want like my caramel something or other, like, I don't know, chocolate covered caramel.
Give me a caramello bar. Oh my God.
Or you know what else I love?
Right there.
Milky Way bars. I haven't had a Milky Way chocolate bar and I couldn't tell you how long. Those were my favorites. Those were my mom's favorites too.
It's been 2 weeks. I gave in. I had one of the midgets.
I saw little baby ones at the Dollar General store the other day. Like,
oh my
they were
God.
like a sliver. I'm like, oh, jeez.
I was so bad. I felt so bad. I was at a friend's house and they had a bowl and she always has a candy dish out. And always has candy of some kind.
That's old school, yeah.
Well, she is in her 70s. Come on.
All right, that makes perfect sense. Yep.
She had the little Milky Ways and she goes, I saw them and I go, oh. She goes, oh, you definitely want to have one of those. I said, why? She goes, they just came out of the refrigerator.
Oh.
On a hot summer day.
See, I like mine. Like, I don't like them. Like
with red rose in it.
Well, Kevin puts peanut butter cups in the refrigerator. He likes them like really like. I'm like, no. I like to be able to bite into my like Milky Way bar and like it's all gooey and soft and like, yeah. I mean, I don't want it hot and melted, but yeah.
Well, that's what she meant. It was just out. It was like room temperature now.
Okay.
So when you bit into it, the caramel went ooh.
Those are the best.
Pull it away and the stream just kept going.
I think I'm gonna have to buy one. I honestly can't tell you the last time I had one. Like, this is great. It's been years. Wow.
I'm telling you, what you need to do is buy like the little 6-pack serving at the dollar store. Because then you just have one and you put it like somewhere where you'd have to actually get up and like
Right.
fish for it.
Right.
So it's not convenient.
That's a good point. Because like now the Halloween candy's out like everywhere. Like it was like a week or two
No.
ago, and I saw it already, and I took a picture. Now today I was in like the Honesdale Weiss Market, and I'm like, there's the whole back walls, nothing but Halloween candy. I'm like, it's August. Can we wait till September at least? I mean, don't get me wrong. Halloween is my favorite holiday. I love Halloween, but can we wait till like middle of
My
September?
rush life.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
No.
My mom always said the older you get, don't wish your life away. Because I'd be like, oh, I can't wait till I'm 16 so I can drive. I can't wait until I'm 21
Yeah.
so I can drink. She's like, stop wishing your life away. I'm like, oh, that's a good point now.
And you know what's funny with having a kid? It's like, she's born and it's great and everything. She's a little baby. And it's like, I can't wait till she rolls over. I can't wait till she sits up. I can't wait till she holds a bottle by herself. I can't wait till she crawls. I
And the
can't wait
next
till
thing you
she
know, she's
walks.
driving a car. You're like, what?
And it's like, where did that time
Yeah,
go?
that's what I've heard. Yeah.
It's like February, she's able to get behind the wheel training. I'm like, I'm
Wow.
not ready for this.
Right.
I'm not ready for her to be even thinking of driving yet.
Yeah. She's going to be
And I'm like,
adulting.
I can't. I said that to her today. I said, when did you grow up so fast? Why? Why did you
She's
grow up
like,
so
oh,
fast?
Mom, I'm only in high school. Mom, I'm growing.
No,
Only in high school.
actually, no. She came back with a different response.
Oh, what'd she say?
She goes, it wasn't like I had a choice.
Oh.
Very
Wow.
philosophical she is.
Very. Well, I mean, if she's gonna be an actress, like that's right up her alley. I think that's perfect.
Yeah, I know, right? Little Miss. Yeah. She's.
Well, tell her if things finally get like semi back to normal-ish. Although right now, I guess she.
She's not vaccinated. She can't come visit you.
Right, but I mean, once things change, hey, we have. I mean, I don't care if she's vaccinated or not, but with New York, it'd be a problem. But yeah, I mean, yeah, more than welcome to come. And I mean, we don't have a big apartment, but she has a couch to crash on. You do too, but I mean, like, it's gonna be literally it's a couch. It's not. We don't have a separate bedroom. We have our bedroom, and that's it. And there's a living room, small living room, and a tiny
It
kitchen
probably
and
costs more
bathroom.
than your house in Pennsylvania.
Yes, it does. It's much more than the mortgage. It's ridiculous. It's literally almost $400 more a month for the apartment to rent than it is for our mortgage. Yeah.
Your rent there is probably definitely more than my mortgage.
I'm gonna bet yes, because I lied. It's not $400. It's $300 more than our mortgage. So yeah, I'm gonna take you and say yes. You're absolutely right. But that's something for another day. And we've reached our 9 o'clock hour already, the witching hour. Ooh, perfect for the ladies' show.
Ooh.
But it was awesome having a great conversation. And we started out a little sexy, and then we actually talked about some serious shit tonight. That wasn't so bad. It's interesting. We got to keep it it's like a relationship. You got to keep it fresh and new and different. There you go.
Got to keep nourishing it.
Yes.
Open up the walls to it.
Yeah, right.
Oh wait, that runs electric, and that runs right back to the electrical toys.
Oh yeah, be careful with that.
Yeah.
All right,
You
love.
gotta watch. Make sure when you travel. One little word of advice, though: if you travel out of the country, make sure you get the adapter to your toys too, not just your phones.
Yes. Yes,
and your blow dryer.
That. Yes, there's a little kit you can buy. It adapts to like every. Yes, definitely get that.
But you don't want that electrocuting.
Yeah, that would be really bad.
Imagine the fire it could start down there if you don't shave right.
Wow.
No,
yeah, that would be bad.
That could be painful.
Yes, it could be.
Ooh.
You're absolutely right. If you survive the initial electrocution.
Well, that might curl the hair, then it's going to burn off.
Yeah, right. But it's already curled. Wait a minute. I'm so confused. And on that note, it's a good thing to start and end on the same note. I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
So we will be coming to you again next week, Monday night, same time, same bat channel, 8 o'clock. And thanks all for listening. And Jerry, final words?
Let's see, final words. It's Monday night. It's not sticky hot. So it's a good night to curl up with a book by an open window, with a nice something to drink, and be with your loved ones or not. Some are in your fictional books.
Yes.
I got a hot one going now.
Oof.
Anyway, so that's where I'm going to be after, of course, I listen to We Drink and We Know Things
Aw,
following this show.
you're the best. Thank you so much. All right. Good night, all. Have a great night. Sorry, I had the wrong music. Now we have the right stuff. We are nothing if not professional.
Wouldn't be a show without that.